Hello and welcome back to my channel, Simply Life. I hope everyone is doing as well as possible in those days and sending all my love around the world. Today I would like to share about impatient, that we are impatience, that how important every little part of a process is. We can take the example of a child, that of course the child can be born more early than after 9 months, but there can be certain parts which just need then to develop more. Is it maybe the weight or the size or whatever it is? There will be some missing parts because it was just too early for the birth and for the process. And I'm more than sure that many of you know, when we talk about impatience, how we just want that things happen already yesterday. Is it in a project? Is it in moving house? Is it in just finding that perfect relationship or being already in one? And why it's not there yet? Or that we then just go for it because we've been always told, of course, you can do it, you can do it. And then when the time is there, for example, you grow up, you then just say to yourself, yeah, sure, I can do it, I can do it. But actually, you might not be ready in that moment, which doesn't mean that we don't have the capacity for all of that, what we wish to achieve, what we wish to blossom, to manifest. But often we over jump in the process, the growth steps. And I can really tell you from my own experience that it's not that others pushed me, but I started to believe that the others pushing me, and then actually by that started to pushing myself, that I can do this already, I can already go there and manifest that and offer this and that. And then I just went deeper in myself, and then I realized it was just this impatience, this part of me inside which already know how to get there, how it needs to feel, know that I'm able to, know that I have the energy, but pushing so hard, almost in a sense of perfection, that I overrode, that we overrode the inner part, which is so innocent and just needs, and so fragile, just needs that time that really the seeds is then ready to be shown, ready to be born, ready to be manifested. And that's just how nature works. That's just how we all work. That there is a particular time when particular things are ready, mature, ripe. And before that, there will be always some missing links. So I'm not saying that we can't do it faster. For example, a child, a teenager loses the father, and suddenly he is the man in the household. And of course, he's still a teenager, and overnight he needs somehow to become more mature, more grown up. And because, I don't know, he has just a little sister and the mother is also not there. And suddenly he been taking away those between steps before he would be really able and have all the in between steps to be ready to be this man in the household, and not the leader in the household, and not really being actually still the teenager and suddenly needs to become something he's even not ready yet. But he says sure, 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 out of course he don't have maybe in this moment another choice, but there will be always then something in between missing in our later stage of life. And why I'm doing this video is actually that you play your movie of your life. And if you have any kind of situation you felt you just had to suddenly become maturer than you actually been in the process of growth, even if it's for a job, even if it's for a marriage, even if it's for moving to another country and it was just too early, but you just wanted, and maybe next year it would be a much better moment when the things would get riper and really fall then into place and not push you just hard because you just want this now. And that you just really check and have a look, where did I actually on my road lost in between steps, which are now being in one or another form shown, felt, that it's just missing inside of me at this moment. And for example, for me, I grew up and been actually more like a support for my mother, who was like alone with her two daughters and really not always feeling well, and also having many other troubles. And I suddenly overtook the role of taking care of her. And even if it's just taking care emotional, mental, energetically, I had to suddenly become faster, mature, and certain parts of my childhood are missing, and I couldn't just freely grow up and be just this free kid thinking about nothing. And actually, now when I think about certain situations, I can see how actually this inner part of this child from this childhood is actually missing. And when I say missing, it was just not really having the time, the honor, the space for this process, for this development. But it's nothing negative when we suddenly feel, oh my God, here I just been pushed so fast out of the house, or here I had to make fast decision, and you actually felt not ready. That we just now in this moment, when we realize that, like now through this video, to just take this part, you can name it, you can feel into it, you can really give it a shape, and just hold it with your heart, with your love, and just give it this moment of space, of honor, even it didn't have at that time to grow, to be in process. And often it's already enough that we just realize those things and not get then caught up, oh my God, I didn't have a childhood, I had to be fast grown up, and then just having this missing parts within you because you couldn't have the space to develop, but not really then get stuck on it and judge it, or even judge then the mother, the father, the situation, life itself, yourself, but just, okay, I didn't have time, I didn't have this beautiful space to process, to be in this process of growth. But now I do. And now I can just go back to those parts and find them, find those missing dots in between on your road. Or just take the situation where all of a sudden, overnight, you had to become someone you're not. And later on, you just said, yeah, I had to be strong, I had to be strong. But actually, inside, you were not ready. And just heal that part in the way to recognize it, honor it, bring it up to light, and allow yourself, even if it was, for example, you missed being this little child because suddenly you had to grow up, to bring into your vision, I'm now this little child, and see yourself, I don't know, playing and being happy or gentle, or whoever you've been behind the situation which you had to become. um, and then just, bring it in, so that you basically, those missing parts, this missing link, you create now, because you are able to go back in your life journey, find that, feel that, let it flourish, even if it's a few minutes of a moment, or every day a little bit, till you feel you received it actually back, you integrated back, you became whole in this process which you didn't had time before, or been pushed, and then actually become even yourself impatient, and just run, doing all things even you've been not really ready for it. So I hope that makes sense, because it's kind of complex and kind of easy, because we've been really not always ready for things, and we've been just told to be ready, and then even started to believe ourselves how ready we are for things, and how strong, and why so scared, and why you overthink it, come on, go, just do it. And actually, like that, we're taking away natural, the steps which are still meant to be learned, meant to be embodied, meant to be felt, even if it was the step to fall down. But because our father always catched up, we never had experience of falling down, and that's why it's then maybe later on, when you've been grown up, and maybe you fall, it felt then 100 times more awful. How could you fall now? Because you didn't have from before this integrated part, that you allowed yourself in the process, it's fine, I can fall, and so on. So this is really connected. The impatient and just go and being pushed by others, by self then, and actually running almost away, and not honoring, even stepping over so important in between processes, growth steps, which will then make us even more complete in our uniqueness. Wishing you a most beautiful day, and I really felt how important this is now to be stated, that no, we've been not always ready for whatever was, and it's okay, and we didn't fail her, and we don't need to rush now, just go back to those points. Sending you much love.